Hello, welcome to the final Beacon Fairy Walk project. My name is Lauren, and today I will teach you how to make your very own fairy wand. So the nice thing about this project is that it's very adaptable to your skill level and whatever materials you have lying around. So I've gone ahead and selected a stick. You're also going to want, as you can see, some items from nature, scraps of ribbon or yarn. I have some faux leaves here, big jar of buttons, can't go wrong with that. As well as some scissors, and I'm using hot glue. So this is definitely for older kids or adults. You can always go down to a safer option. So I've already started getting a little wash of green on my stick. So this is going to be like for a forest or a woodland fairy. I'm working in greens and browns and reds, but you can use whatever colors you have on hand or whatever you'd like for your character. So the nice thing about acrylics is that they dry really quick and they cover really well. But again, if you've got little kids, you can use tempera or a less toxic option. So from there, you really just think about what your fairy would have collected, what they need their wand for, what kind of spells they need to cast. I'm going to go ahead and lay down some leaves on here. So I'm just going to use my scissors. I'm going to be really honest, when I started working with the fairy walk, I have hit up every craft sale, garage sale, looking for little cast off bits and bobs. You never know what will come in handy. So just very simply use your hot glue. Again, grown-ups or, slightly older kids. I have these trailing up my wand. Trying to use a different blend of sizes and shapes here. All right, that looks pretty good. You do need a spot to grip your wand, so that's why this doesn't have any paint on it. We're gonna get to that a little bit later. I think my fairy wand needs a little extra magic. We're gonna grab some beads. Oh, and I opened the container upside down on video, because why not? There we go. So I'm using some wire. You could also use string for this, but I'm just using what I have on hand. And I've been accumulating craft supplies for a very long time. I'm gonna string a few beads on here, as many as you like. When we had our wand making workshop last year, we had a lot of great donated materials from all over Beacon and surrounding communities. And I had sorted each character's color palette for people to craft from. So this feels very much like our forest fairy. Oops. This is a really fine motor activity for those of you doing remote school. All right, so I've got a handful of sparkly gold and green beads up there. Use your string or wire. I've used everywhere now. Using your string or wire, give it a couple of wraps and a little twist. You can reinforce that with some glue or do a knot if you're using string. And apologies if you can't tell, this is my first time making a tutorial video, so figuring it all out as we go along. Slide your beads down to where you want them to start. And then just wrap your wire around a couple times. And you can either leave them all clustered up together like that, or keep some tension on your string and wire and just start like spacing them out a little bit. So it's up to you. I know we've had a couple of our wands are packed full of detail and some of them are really simple. It's just totally a matter of preference. Go around the leaves that I already attached and then back up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to snip off my excess. So you've got a couple of magical baubles happening there. So use some sharp scissors or some wire cutters to do that. Sorry. I am going to then, here we go. See if you can twist this around, loop it underneath. Some of that wire there. Like so, and secure with some hot glue or regular glue, again, whatever you are using. And just for good measure, I'm going to put a little leaf over that to hide the join. There are these beautiful little red maple leaves that are just starting to show up in my backyard. So I like the little pop of color that gives. So I'm going to find a spot to put a few more of those beautiful red leaves. Let's see. My daughter is going to steal this the moment she sees it. So I really want to make sure everything is pretty well secured. Okay, I'm really loving the way that's looking. Oh,
Where's my socks?
I don't know, buddy. Mommy's making a video. Find your socks. All right. I like to think with the beacon fairies, especially because we were operating on a very conservative budget, that they like to incorporate things that they found into their wands. I'm going to go into my beautiful big jar buttons. And see if there's any like sparkly gold ones that might have caught our fairy's attention, and glue those on as well. So I'll do that right here. Little floaties happening. So I'm going to put this bigger one down towards the bottom. And you can always, you know what, and if you don't like the way something looks, you can always take it right off and try again. All right, so you can keep adding as many bits as you want, but I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, that big one does not want to stick. I'm gonna go ahead and start working on the handle. So for this, I've got some dark green yarn. I'm going to choose where I want my handle to start and add a bit of glue. And again, if you're not using hot glue, you can always just tie a very secure knot. And then just start twisting it and twisting it. To make a grip for your fairy. One of my favorite wands from the play used this technique. It was our Fire Fairies wand, and somebody did like a beautiful color blending of red, yellow, and orange yarn and string going up her little wand. Be gorgeous to see this in like ombre tones or some rainbow tones if you have a rainbow fairy. It already feels pretty magical to be spinning this. Here we go. I'm just going to wrap up the edge right there. Okay, cut off your yarn once you've got it wrapped as much as you would like. Give it another dab of glue or a tie off to finish it. You can layer more on top of this if you wanted, different colors, different textures. I'm pretty happy with how this is coming out for our little forest fairy who likes to collect shiny gold buttons. I'm going to go ahead, and we were not allowed to use loose glitter in our production last year. So one product you could use would be like a paint with glitter already in it or glitter glue to add a little bit of sparkle. You'd probably want to like pour this into a dish, but I'm always a fan of just using the little paint cup. And then you can just add some sparkle to your leaves. To your laptop, as I've just done. That's okay, wash this off. I'm gonna add some right to the edge of my wand because of course we want some sparkle on that bare wood. And the nice thing about this is that it's not gonna kind of end up everywhere like traditional glitter would. So I think this is pretty good for our little forest fairy wand. Got a mixture of natural and artificial materials, things I found around the house, like for my bead and button collection. You can use like any, I don't know, a piece of broken jewelry. You can go on a walk and find interesting little shiny bits around the ground. Always ask a grown-up before you pick up anything from the ground. I definitely love going down to the river. These little guys are always fun to craft with, the little local doodads, our little water chestnut seeds, and they're very easy to string on a wire. There's several of these on our River Fairies outfit. All right. Well, I hope that you make a wand and share it with us. And please remember that you can visit the Beacon Fairy Walk houses at 3 Beacon Parks. If you haven't visited yet, I hope you can get out soon. Remember to stay 6 wings apart from others and wear your mask. And the locations of all of those will be posted at the end of the video. Thanks.